Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently trading around 29.6k again, so it's been moving around that area for the last few days really, and it's now for the market to decide if we finally break very important support levels, and we're going to take a look at that in this video. Overall, we are having a look here at the Bitcoin chart on the daily. And we can see that Bitcoin moved up here, obviously in April 21 in a wave 1, came down in a wave A, moved up in an overshooting wave B. That sometimes happens. That can even overshoot much more, like on the ADA chart. Yeah, but it is still part of this overall correction. And we are now moving down in this last wave down, which would be a C wave. A C wave itself consists of 5 waves, and we are now in the 5th wave of the wave C. And within the 5th wave, we zoom in, within the 5th wave, we are here in a wave 4, which means we are close to looking at the 5th wave of the 5th wave. And that means that this last wave down indicated with these charts or arrows could really be the last wave down, the last corrective wave down to complete the overall correction. That is still what I see here. Of course, it can change, but this is currently the scenario that I'm following, that I'm leaning towards, because some things add up. And if we take a look here at the daily chart, you can see here this yellow target area down here. This is where I still expect the price to land between 20 and 25.5k. Originally, it was at 20 to 28.6 or 28.7k. That is the area I gave you back in November, December. Now that was obviously reached here finally in May 22. Well, this year, the last month, came into it but moved out of it again. So we're not back in this area again. And we only, I think, dipped into it once more. So this is really crucial that this area now gets moved into once more to finish this overall correction off. As I said before, the overall correction could already be finished, and that what you can see here could be a breakout pattern or breakout wave pattern. But the structure is absolutely horrible. The structure for a breakout pattern to the upside would be absolutely horrible, and therefore I'm not following or entertaining this thought any further. It is possible, but I would give it a very low probability. People still saying the low is already in. I would give it a very low probability. Technically possible, because from a higher level point of view, that overall corrective target that I gave you has been reached, which means Bitcoin in this corrective pattern, and these are clear patterns that prices follow again and again. And you need to reach certain levels in order to finish such a corrective pattern off here, this A, B, C. And as I've been telling you throughout, we need to get below 28.7k, which is what we did here in May 22 finally, after pretty much 6 months, right? And a lot of people were still saying the low is already in down here in January 22, not understanding that we didn't have enough bullish signals yet to confirm that, and also not understanding that the expanded flat pattern that we're looking at here is just the most likely corrective pattern compared to a running flat, which is just totally unlikely, especially in such a higher level wave degree. And the running flat would have meant that, indeed, we would have started from here already back to the upside. But the running flat is just one of the rarest patterns in all Elliott Wave patterns. So it just had to be based on probabilities. That's all you can do here. We have to move in the space just by adhering to probabilities and following them, because if you don't, you're lost. And of course, probabilities don't work out 100%. And theoretically, it could have been that the low was in here. And again, I gave it only a 20% probability, which I talked about as well. But a very low probability, because again, the structure here was just horrible, not a breakout structure at all. And you need to be able to understand this from the price action. And it's a similar situation now. The price structure just doesn't suggest that the low is already in. Now, of course, things can change, and then we will adapt and adjust the chart and the wave counts to account for the new moves, which will then help us to forecast the next moves. Because what you want to do in Elliott Wave, you want to try to ride the correct wave. You want to understand which wave you're in. And only if you know that with a high probability, or high accuracy, then you can forecast the next price moves with high accuracy. Okay. So in the last video I told you, and I removed some of the subwaves just to clear up, to make it a little bit easier to understand. So from the peak here, this wave 4 high, which is the wave 4 of the wave 5, within which the last correction will take place, which means there will be one more wave down, the wave 5, which again is split into 5 waves. So the wave 5 here in red will be the last wave down as I currently see it, that will finish Bitcoin's correction off. There are more bearish options, but it doesn't make sense to entertain them until we see signals for them. Yeah, that is just, otherwise you get lost, because I often get the question, what is if Bitcoin drops even below my target area? Well, if it does that, it will most likely drop much further, and then we have to adjust the wave count. But I can only show you the most likely scenarios here, especially in these videos. I could go through all options, but it would just not make sense. It would confuse everybody, and yeah, it would just not make sense. But what we're seeing here now is pretty much exactly what I told you in the previous video. So we came down in this 5 wave move and finished here in white, a wave 1 off. This is the wave 1 of the last wave 5 down. Again, a wave 1 is split into 5 waves, which you can see perfectly here. And this is currently how I can see it. So in the last video, I wasn't quite sure if this wave 5 was already over. Yeah, the wave 5 of the wave 1 here. But the short rally here to the upside would suggest that it was. Now, is this already finished? Currently, it doesn't look like it, because we're looking for a 3-wave structure, because this would be a wave 2. Now, it could become quite a small wave 2, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we've got this descending trend line here, which could limit the development of the wave 2. So what are we looking for in a wave 2, by the way? We're looking for at least something like an ABC, so an A, B, C. As you can already see here, the wave C could first of all be constrained by this descending trend line here, or alternatively, it could be limited by the wave 4 high. So these are the 2 levels that I'd be looking out for in a wave 2 retracement now, which is here 30,670. This is where, and I'll make that a different color. This is where we could expect here this wave 2 to go to, if it then is a wave 2. This is currently what I'm leaning to, yeah. And this wave 2 would then consist in the most simple form of an A, B, C. And we're looking usually, let's say the wave A is complete, maybe the wave B is complete. For a wave C, we would normally look for the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level of the wave A, yeah, and that would be around 30.5K. So that would match pretty well here, that 30.68K level that we're possibly looking at here for the wave 2. Let's see how high this will go, but there are 2 possible points where it will get restricted, which is this descending trend line and here that wave 4 high. Technically, from an entire retracement point of view, it could even retrace more, but it could retrace here in a wave 2, for example, to the 50% Fib retracement, 61.8. For a wave 2, unfortunately, depending on what kind of wave 2 it is it a zigzag pattern, is it a flat pattern, they can retrace to different degrees, yeah, so we just need to wait, but the retracement is still underway. Don't think it has peaked yet, so it will most likely go up a little bit higher. Before then, though, it will come down, and what I currently see would be a wave 3. So currently, I think, well, I'm following this current path here because I think it has a high likelihood. I think it works out. Could it be something different? Yes, potentially, but as long as anything is invalidated, I'm going to follow this path here. And again, it works currently. What we would be looking in this scenario next would be to take out the previous swing low here at 29.25K. And then I think we're going to go down here to the wave X low, which is at 28K. And only if we have broken this, only then I think we can expect really that larger move down to unfold that we are looking at here. Yeah? So this, all of this. So based on this scenario, we expect a little bit more upside if it then happens here in a wave 2 before we then come down strongly. What we can also draw here on this is an ascending trend line that you can identify here. So when that is taken out now, which is pretty much the previous swing low, yeah, so ascending trend line here with 3 touch points. Basically, overall, this seems to be a triangle structure, but what is important is this previous swing low here is 29.25. And even here, when we come down, bear in mind this ascending trend line. When we take this out, then high likelihood to take the previous swing low out, then high likelihood to get to the previous swing low at 28K. And only if we get below 28K, and that is really a very, very important level, that wave X low here, only then we have a chance to retest here the 25.4K level. Bear in mind on different exchanges, that is a different level, that level from the 12th of May. So yeah, looking at possibly wave 1 complete, now wave 2 retracement can go a bit higher, then wave 3 to the downside. Bear in mind, some people might call this here a descending wedge, and in the end it is a descending wedge. Possible breakout pattern. Bear in mind, with this wave count, high probability of a fake out. You often see fake outs out of descending wedges. So again, with this pattern, high likelihood of a fake out. So if we move up here, get rejected at the wave 4 high, for example, that would be the target if we really break out, in my opinion, the next swing high here, 30,000, what did I say, 700 roughly. Then you get rejected and you move down here in the wave 3. So based on this scenario, after the wave 2 has peaked, we expect quite a strong move down in a wave 3. A wave 3 normally either very bullish or very bearish. In this case, it would be very bearish. Where do I see the overall correction finish? Well, I think it's around about the 22K level. That would be a very, very logical level to expect the completion of the correction, because this is the 200 week moving average. Yeah. So that's currently what I'm looking at here. And any changes, I will of course update you in the next videos. Bear in mind, these markets change, these waves move. Overall, I think today, because it's Saturday, usually quiet day. So what could happen here today, we are moving further and closer to the wave 2. Slowly, yeah, maybe a bit of sideways movement. I don't expect too much volatility today, to be honest. It's Saturday, it's really usually quite a bit of a slow day. Before then, late on Sunday, we should see some volatility again. But yeah, let's see how this will play out. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.